video, and today we're going to be reacting to Moist Critical Pathetic Overwatch 2 situation. I don't play Overwatch personally, but let's see what y'all going through right now.
And bad decisions, a combination more iconic than peanut butter and jelly. They're no strangers to making the most bafflingly awful choices they can with their products and their community, but today's is a little special.
I never played, so I
They've
wouldn't
decided to start cracking down on profanity in Overwatch, a game that is rated T for teen.
He got banned for saying fuck? I can never play that. I'm sorry. We be raging. Like on the competitive games that I play, I personally can't because it'd be crazy in the chats. I'm just saying. It'd be crazy in the chats. When somebody make you mad, or it'd be somebody in the chat that's trying to make somebody mad, and it's like, bro.
Not
and we be on the same team too, and they still be on that with me. Like, bro.
Weenies. It's rated T with mild language being one of the reasons, so there's already some swearing present in the game by default.
Right,
however, if a player, like a human being, engages in some naughty language, they can just get banished to the Shadow Realm for it. So collegiate Overwatch player's been banned for 30 days after saying fuck and shit in his chat logs.
Wait, was this a professional player that they banned for that? Because that's even double crazy, because they say, I read the bottom here, and it's saying that it's his last tournament, so I'm guessing
that will end his college career as he'll be unable to participate in his last tournament. It's a complete non-issue. It's not like he was spamming slurs or anything.
Right.
He said some simple swear words. Club Penguin was more lenient on cussing than Overwatch, it seems. Getting banished to the Shadow Realm because you said shit in-game is
I need to read the shit part. Is read fuck.
Comprehensible. Especially a competitive game like Overwatch. That's going to happen, and yet for some reason, the hall monitors at the Blizzard support staff are left aghast, literally shocked that people would say the word shit in-game. And they stand by this decision, by the way. It wasn't a mistake. They actually fight tooth and nail trying to explain that they don't appreciate and will not allow profanity in Overwatch.
Yep, their game. I can't. I hope they lose a lot of people off their game, because that's not something. That's just not something.
Despite having
if you're mad, you gotta think about it. This is a competitive game, so you're gonna get mad sometimes. And when people get mad, they tend to cuss sometimes. Talk about their other peers and stuff. If you take that element away from the game, it makes me not want to play the game anymore, because you can't say what you want to.
A profanity filter, no F-bombs are allowed for the player Derpy, and by extension, any other player, from what I can tell. They seem to make it a blanket statement that profanity is truly the devil, and it's not welcome in the holy household of Overwatch.
What convinced them to make this decision? Was it just out of nowhere?
It was
seems like they don't really care about their community at all, because that. It takes away, though, a lot from the game if you can't say what you want to be honest. Especially when you have a mic.
The templates are all...
Wait, do they crack down on people with mics, too, or just game chats?
You're going to get appeals aren't for a discussion. In this particular case, profanity. F-bombs in any form are not acceptable. PJ. PJ is obvious.
Oh my god, we get an ad. How could you? Well, it's kind of a 5 seconds, so we're good.
Obviously the initials of the individual that mishandled this case, but I really think it's more applicable if it stands for profanity janitor. Like, they just have one kind of expert who's perpetually offended by any kind of foul language, and they just sick the hound.
But they're like posting about it and stuff, so the other executives don't see it
on the entire Overwatch community, making sure that he goes on a banning rampage if he starts saying things like fuck in the game. So anyway, they seem very upset at the idea of F-bombs in Overwatch. So a user pointed out, why would you even have a profanity filter if using profanity is a bannable offense? Why not just blacklist those words and lead to a chat ban instantly? Why even have a profanity filter? Which is a great point.
That actually is a great question. I thought it was going to be like one of those Twitter questions, like the dumbest questions on the planet.
You have to turn off the profanity filter, meaning you are making the conscious decision to see some less than stellar language being tossed around, less than proper words. Why would you ban...
What I'm getting from this is they can't get guys with mics. That's good.
For turning it off and then using those words. You wouldn't even have the profanity filter in the first place. This just showcases how this has truly come out of nowhere. It's a fucking stupid decision. But here, let's dive a little bit more in depth on exactly what's happening here.
I have a huge question.
Overwatch.
Sorry for pausing so much, but I have a huge question. Does it matter, the way you're using it? If you're just like, oh, fuck, man, in chat, like, me lost, maybe GG's. Oh, fuck, man, we lost GG's. Would they ban you for that? Like, is that an offense, too? Or is that just...
2 players are getting banned for swearing, and they're not thrilled. Blizzard...
Because since it's not all banned, I'm assuming... Or maybe assumption wrong, but I'm just assuming you could say it some way, just not like a way that's hurtful, I guess.
Customer services in hot water after a series of exchanges about Overwatch 2's profanity rules caught the attention of the community and subsequently went viral. Apparently, profanity of any kind is considered against the hero shooter's code of conduct, and if someone reports it, seemingly regardless of context, you will get banned. The Overwatch community isn't thrilled with this new ruling, nor Blizzard's customer service representative's response. The saga started on April 12th when user Derpy82 posted a tweet asking for a response from Blizzard about their Overwatch 2 account being banned. The user attempted to use the native customer support features, figuring out why they were banned. It was only getting automated responses. It was in accordance to the terms. Yeah. I thought this was a
He really wanted that account back. You could tell. Because nobody is... I feel like most people aren't going that far for a game. They're not doing it.
I thought that's where it started. Blizzard's customer service representative responded to the post saying the ban was enacted due to inappropriate language in text chat, including the use of the F word and SH word, which is fuck and shit. Not exactly the most extreme profanity.
Did they give y'all a heads up before, like you can't say this?
Coming from a game where half the playable hero roster swears, and one of them even has the initials BAMF, which is badass motherfucker, on their belt. It's an odd blanket rule to throw over Overwatch 2, but nevertheless, it is the code of conduct that mentions you may not use language that could be offensive or vulgar to others. The customer service rep pointed out that it is literally in the first section of the code of conduct under communication. Response to the tweet has largely been mocked for considering profanity inherently
I guess they told them. They probably just didn't make like anything official about it. I don't know.
Vulgar, and for the flippant response from customer service. One user said that Blizzard should be banning people who use slurs and send death threats over people using profanity, to which customer service account responded in a since-deleted tweet, then report them, Joy.
Oh my god. Did the guy who used curse words get reported? Because who reported that? They need to be... Because who hurt... Damn, I can't fucking talk. I'm not even going to say it anymore.
Wow. That was tough. That was hard. As you can imagine, this was not warmly received by community members like streamer SK. Did Blizzard hire a bunch of youth pastors to run Blizz CS account? Why are they so concerned about policing people for saying fuck and shit in Overwatch all of a sudden? There are more than enough people dropping slurs and being weird in match chat for you to keep your jobs. That's so true, though. That is a really weird thing to get hung up on. Blizzard keeps doing their best. It seems
something so stupid too, like something they didn't have to change it. I feel like they know that. I feel like they knew they didn't have to change it. I feel like they just like fuck you. Like they're basically saying fuck you because you can't even express yourself the way you want to anymore.
It does seem like it
on that game.
It really does seem it.
I've thought about going to Overwatch before because my brothers play it, but now I'm never going. I'll tell you that, brother. I'm never going.
No swearing on my Christian Minecraft server vibes. That is the vibe here. I really wonder why. I feel like they're trying so hard to make it the safe space that they're aiming for, and they've made it the most aggressively toxic place and like the most fearful place, or even just out of context words like shit are enough to get you banned. That's like the most unsafe place imaginable for everybody.
I'm just not gonna play the game. It's like
that when it comes to Overwatch, it seems. They made one really good change with their esports.
If I lose, I want to talk shit. I'm just saying. If I lose or win, I want to talk shit. Like, I like talking shit on the game. Something fun. I don't know if y'all do, but I like talking shit on the game. I don't care.
Sports League dropping OWL entirely and changing that. But man, everything else. What in the fuck? I'm honestly pretty curious if this is going to extend beyond just the text chat in Overwatch. Like, if PJ gets a little too much dip on their chip and goes on a power trip and starts going through, like, Overwatch 2 streamers on Twitch, waiting to see if they start saying bad words and then banning them in-game for bringing profanity into the Overwatch community. I feel like it's not that far-fetched. They clearly don't want swearing in their Overwatch 2 environment. So, Will he start doing that to like sponsored streamers in the future who are representing Overwatch but then saying things like fuck and shit, the forbidden words?
If they actually do that, then this has to be something deeper than money, because those guys are making the money, right? Like, is it really that serious? I don't think they'll ban their streamers. I don't think so. If they do.
I
then
think it's probably unlikely, but it's not impossible to imagine that world, because we're already living in the loony dimension here. If you're getting banned for saying things like shit in a video game, it honestly shows just how little the Overwatch team understands its community. I don't know who they think the audience is that's playing
Right.
Overwatch 2. They must really think
You
that
have a competitive game. Your people want to talk shit. I don't spend hours on a fucking game just to not talk shit about it. Okay, I spend hours playing a game so I can talk shit later when I whoop people's asses. Okay, that's it. That's like the most enjoyable moment ever.
it's
Shitting on
bubble
people
blowing
on the
double
game.
babies or something in Overwatch that can't handle words like shit. I can promise you, no players in your game are being offended and left with tears in their eyes if someone says fuck in a text chat Overwatch. Like, it's not
It gets way worse than fuck, and people still don't get offended. They talk back, and even if I'm losing, I don't care. I'm still talking shit. It doesn't matter.
It's not happening at all. And yet, people are getting banned for it. It's so stupid. I don't think they recognize just how unbelievably ridiculous that concept is. Like, actual kindergarten classrooms are more
I can
understanding.
see if it was a kids game. I can see if it was an actual kids game. But this is not like, maybe if it was Roblox or something. Okay, this is actually understandable if it's like Roblox or something. But this is like a competitive shooting game. That makes no sense.
Of bad words than Overwatch. But
Most of their fan base is probably not under 13. I mean, probably not over 13. I'm just saying. So it wouldn't make sense for that to go like that. Most shooting games probably don't have a population under 13.
anyway, I want to move on to another pseudo
Rares, of course. Like some younger kids play games like that, but still.
Blizzard L here, because
Mostly for
this one
teens
is
and
also
adults.
just so fucking stupid that came out of nowhere. The former head of Blizzard piped up and made a stupid statement saying that you should have the option of tipping developers once you finish a really good game. So you'd be paying $70 for the title and then tip on top of that once you finish, which is an outlandish idea from so many different angles. But the most
I mean, if it's optional, I mean, if people want to tip the creator, it doesn't really. I mean, are they making you, or is it just like, if it's optional, then that's okay. It doesn't really matter. They just want money. That's fine.
obvious one is that money that you would tip in this fantasy land would not ever see the pockets of a developer that worked on it. It would just go right to the publisher and nobody else.
Of course, like that would make it. Yeah, of course.
So
Like that would make more
dumb.
sense.
Yeah, I saw the Blizzard.
I didn't know he
dev
was going with
say
that.
tipping developers isn't a bad idea. I have not seen that, Aston, but I can look it up. The former boss of Blizzard Entertainment has suggested a post-purchase tip feature that would let players give 10 to 20 extra dollars to the developers of special games. That's definitely not going to the developers. That's just going to the studio. The developers won't see a dime of that shit.
He knew that instantly.
Former Blizzard president Mike Ybarra tweeted that he's often felt that upon completion of a particularly enjoyable single-player game, he'd like to give more money to the developers because it was worth more than my initial $70, and they didn't try to nickel and dime me every second. I don't know what world you're living in. I don't know what he's playing. Most of the $70 games that are coming out are really kind of half-baked and focused on trying to nickel and dime you.
Yeah, you're definitely not getting
Games you bought-
those tips after you just did that new update. Like I don't know. It's just something about like not being censored on a game just hits different. Like I could see you being censored in like a friendly chat, you know, a kids game, but being censored in like a competitive game where most of the people want to talk shit. Like, it makes no sense. Like, your fan base wants to talk shit, okay?
I mentioned that it sparked such a
Like,
feeling.
most of them, some of them.
Guerrillas,
Not everyone. Some people just want to chill on the game, but most people want to talk shit. I'm just saying.
Horizon Zero Dawn, Sony Santa Monica's God of War, Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2, Larian's Baldur's Gate 3, and some From Software's Elden Ring. I know $70 is already a lot, but it's an option at the end of the game I wish I had at times. Some games are that special. It's fair to say that the reaction to the suggestion is mixed, with many people saying they're already forking out plenty of money for video games. Others have pointed out that some game platforms such as itch.io already allow tips, and that small indie developers often use established platforms for donations. Many have also pointed out that any extra revenue generated through these tips would invariably end up in the pockets of the publishers as opposed to the developers themselves.
At least they know. At least they know.
At least for the majority of AAA releases. And if such a system were to hit the likes of Steam, the PlayStation Store, or Xbox Store, would Valve, Sony, and Microsoft all expect a cut? Yeah, of course they would. 100%. It's a stupid idea. On the other hand, others have backed the idea. Paul Kilduff Taylor, what a name, Kilduff Taylor, of Mode 7 Games tweeted, "People have discovered various ingenious ways to be angry about this, but adding a pay more if you want option to major stores would straightforwardly be excellent for devs. It works very well on Bandcamp." Yeah, it works well on Bandcamp because it's people independently releasing those projects. They actually see the money, the pay what you want model.
Yeah, the argument here is that the people that you're saying will see the money they won't.
This shit. Like it mentions up here, the platforms are going to want to cut, and the publishers are mainly going to get that tip. Doesn't help the devs at all. No, this isn't like a real thing they're implementing or anything. This is just the former Blizzard head saying that it's a cool idea. Ybarra ended his post acknowledging that the tipping idea won't be for everyone. "I know most will dislike this idea," he said. "By the way, I realize we are tired of tipping and everything else, but I view this different from a pressure to tip type scenario many face and give feedback on."
If anyone would actually tip in that game, just buy an item or something. I'm sure there's things you could buy in Overwatch too, right? I'm sure. Just buy an item or something. Don't tip, okay?
Why I'd view it differently, it's kind of just the same thing. They've added tipping to self-checkout machines, man. Tipping your landlord. Ugh. That was just a meme. That wasn't like a real movement they were trying to make. How else do we keep the robots in check? Yeah, I tipped the Walmart self-checkout machine as an investment into my safety in the future. He'll remember that. Tipping in general is just crazy to me. As a European, nobody's job should depend on it. I know, man. It's tragic. But it's not like there's nothing to really do to fight back against it. If you refuse to tip, the only person you're hurting is like the normal person that's working the job. So I always tip a lot. But I really do hate that they're not paid a decent wage for the work they do and instead have to rely on people to tip. It's fucking stupid. It is so stupid.
It really is.
RNG income.
Some jobs, they make a lot of money off tips, though. I'm not going to lie.
True. Yeah, RNG income. Some owners of places.
All right, y'all. That's the end of the video. I will see y'all in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.